there's another coin back here, a Bar Kokhba coin that I actually, it was also from my collection, that we scanned and stuck into the, I scanned, what do you mean? Here it is, here's my coin here. That was right on, we put it right on top of the scanner, scanned it and got that. And this is a palm tree of Bar Kokhba mentioning Shimon and the freedom of Jerusalem on the reverse. So that's the second Jewish uprising, 132 to 136. Freedom of Jerusalem. And then the last thing we have here is, of course, the Wailing Wall, the corridors of the priests that's still standing underneath the temple area near the Wailing Wall. The Roman Colosseum, built with money stolen from the temple of the treasure by Vespasian and by largely Jewish prisoners. Jews didn't build the pyramids, they built the Colosseum, where they then subsequently were some of the first to die in fun and games. Which is something one never really hears much about. The Arch of Titus proclaiming his great triumph and of what he stole from there. And here's a picture on the Arch of Titus of the golden candelabra from the front of the temple, which is on the Arch of Titus to this day, which they melted down in pure gold, given by a woman called Queen Helena of Adiabene. Now, all this is very detailed information that I'm sure, how many in this room have ever heard any of this before? Never. Nobody ever talks about it. Maybe you have, we've taken a previous class, but nobody ever talks about such things. You don't even hear anything like this. Because no one's ever doing an historical approach to these things. It's always, what spiritual sustenance you get. You know, it's more like a sermon, which is good. There's nothing wrong with sermons, but if you want to do history, let's do some history. Let's get the people out there who deserve to be out there. That's what we're trying to do. Here is what's called, I chose all these pictures, so. Judea Capta coin after 70 AD, when this guy, Vespasian, look at this big, you know, it looks like a football coach actually, you know, even tougher. That's what the Roman generals looked like. They were nasty pieces of work, you know, they didn't have any, the milk of human kindness did not flow from their veins, you know, they were people who came up through the ranks and, you know, got their jobs by, you know, fighting in close combat. You know, they're not like pussycats. Yeah. So when we get the centurion and the other thing that we read the other day, you know, this is what he would have looked like. This guy here. I wouldn't want to get near him, man. I wouldn't want to talk to him about Jewish dietary regulations either. Okay. Anyway, the other side is the Roman soldier. And it says Judea captive, and this is the Senate of Rome here, sitting over a weeping Jewish woman under the palm tree, which was supposed to symbolize Judea. And that's called, you know, that was, but then here's a coin that I have here, which is from year 4. This is not my coin. A guy on the internet lent it to me. Free. A Jewish revolutionary coin from year 4 depicting the cup of the Lord and bearing the logo Redemption of Zion. So here's the cup that you hear so much about on a coin from year 4 depicting with a logo, not Freedom of Zion here, but Redemption of Zion. So that's what Josephus is complaining about.
So in year 2 it was Freedom of Zion?
No, there's coins from both.
Oh.
This one has to be. No. It was interchangeable. Harut Zion is Freedom of Zion and Redemption of Zion. I can't remember the word. But anyway, no, it's not that. I mean, there are lots of coins. So some of the coins would have redemption, some of them would have freedom. But the point of the matter is Josephus interchanged the words too. And that's what he's concerned about. So this revolution is obviously, you know, being, or this war is being run by or engined by or inspired, pressed forward by these kinds of types and with this kind of ideology, which Paul is totally opposed to. Paul allegorizes it. Now Josephus, what's he? Is he totally opposed to this? Yes and no. He's a double agent. For a while, he claimed to be one of the commanders in Galilee. As I said, you need commanders in Galilee like Josephus. You don't need any enemies. He's supposed to have been involved in the fortification of Galilee in the 66 period, and of course it collapsed immediately, his fortifications. And then what did he do after it collapsed? I told you what he did. But it's more specific than that. He knew some people in the Roman camp, he admits. How would he know some people in the Roman camp? Because he'd been to Rome on that mission I told you about beforehand, where he'd met Poppaea. By the way, I have a coin in there commemorating Poppaea after Nero kicked her to death in 65 because she was pregnant. Kicked her in the stomach. Nice chap. This is what you want to do with your wives when they get pregnant? Kick them in the stomach? Yeah. Yeah, and then make a coin to commemorate them. Anyway, Josephus met her, and she sent him away with gifts, he said, because he said she was interested in religious coin. He said in his autobiography that he had gone to Rome on the part of some priest that had been arrested for a minor trifle. So Josephus was in aristocratic priestly circles of some kind. In any case, when he finally surrendered, he was in a cave, right? What was he doing in the cave? I told you this one. Yeah, well, what was the point? He was supposed to commit suicide. And they were drawing lots to see who would kill each other and then commit suicide. And so he says in a very sort of cagey way, he says, what? Josephus and a friend drew the short straws. And so what happened? They proceeded to kill all the others who were hiding out in the cave, right? And then they went down and surrendered to the Romans. This is the kind of guy you really want to be on your side. This is the sort of person that you really feel is a good colleague. And then what did the first thing he did when he was ushered before Vespasian, and he really was ushered before Vespasian at this point, because he had friends. I'd say he laid the groundwork for this betrayal earlier in Rome when he went there. He was already playing both sides. These leaders in these kind of contexts were very superstitious. Caesar was very superstitious with the Ides of Rome and all that kind of stuff. Soothsayers. He came into Vespasian's presence before Vespasian became the emperor and said, "You are